Welcome back to Musings by Danon. Today's video is sponsored by longtime patron Waffles. Waffles is in love with love and asked me to read a rather odd romance manga. In fact, this manga, Undead Unluck, is his favorite shonen romance. Before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. I've been very happy with the growth this channel has had so far, and I'm excited to see where we're going. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. There are several tiers to choose from. You can pick an anime or manga for me to do a video about, or you can join our monthly manga club. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Undead Unluck is one of the silliest manga I've ever read. The premise of the manga is that there are people in the world who cancel the laws of the universe. Called negators, these people often feel that they are cursed. Just a heads up, we won't be going into spoiler territory with this series, and we will only be covering the first chapter, which you can read on the Shonen Jump app. I'm not sponsored, but for only $2 a month you can read all of this manga, as well as One Piece, Spy Family, Chainsaw Man, or any of the other amazing manga from Shonen Jump. It is easily my favorite subscription service. Our story begins with Fuko Izumo finishing up her favorite manga, and then standing up to leap to her death. For the last 10 years, Fuko has been cursed by a terrible disease. Anyone who touches her experiences a terrible bout of unluckiness and dies. She always wished she could have a whirlwind romance like in manga, but she knows that'll never happen to her. And so, determined to kill herself, she brandishes a knife at everyone trying to convince her not to jump. That doesn't stop our main character though. He casually walks into the knife, impaling himself and causing Fuko to freak out. Despite Fuko's declaration that anyone who touches her will die, the person she stabbed grabs her face. He's excited to try this new form of death. After all, suicide has been getting boring lately. Suddenly, the part of the bridge that this man is standing on breaks away, and he falls, right in front of a speeding train. Fuko is upset about this and goes to check on this man. But as she's wallowing in her regret, his head rolls up to her. Suddenly, his body starts regenerating. Torso and arms start to grow back, but not clothes. Fortunately, this is a shonen, so any and all dangly bits are covered by large black sensor bars. Come to find out, this man is undead, not a zombie. He literally cannot die. But maybe, just maybe, Fuko's unluck can kill him. At least, that's what he's hoping for. He takes Fuko back to his hideout so they can have a conversation. Fuko tries to escape, of course, but the undead won't let her. Quick note, I'm tired of saying the undead. Our main character doesn't remember his name. So at the end of the first chapter, Fuko names him Andy. Get it? Because you're undead! Okay, with that out of the way, Andy has been experimenting with Fuko's unluck. How long does he have to touch her? What are some of the ways to make the unluck more intense, etc.? He was just touching her hand and face, but then Andy wanted to test the surface area, so he tells Fuko to strip. So of course Fuko tries to escape, but her clothes get caught and her beanie comes off. She has a massive, unkept mane of hair. Of course, if any stylist were to cut her hair, they would die. Andy decides to be nice, holds her close, and cuts her hair for her. Fuko loves the new look, and Andy, excited to see what kind of bad luck holding onto her for 15 minutes will bring, gets his head chopped off and shoved into a capsule before he can regenerate. With people so dangerous in the world, able to overturn the very laws of the universe, there has to be some sort of organization trying to study, use, or perhaps eliminate negators. Initially, Fuko is convinced that Andy getting his head cut off is tied to her unluck. But then she realized it happened too quickly. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning crashes into the capsule holding Andy's head, killing the person holding it. Andy's body starts to regenerate, and the two of them fight to survive against the special agents. In a desperate attempt to win, Fuko kisses Andy's cheek. This summons a meteor. Fuko manages to escape, but everyone else dies. Andy stands back up, shocked at the destruction a single kiss caused. He then figures that the next step is sex, which again causes Fuko to run away. So, the first chapter does a good job establishing our main characters as well as the world. Undead Andy is a being who wants to die, but can't. Fuko is a girl who wants to experience a whirlwind romance, but can't. Can she fall in love with a guy like Andy? Sure, Andy wants her to love him. He eventually discovers that the stronger Fuko feels for a person, the stronger her unluck is. So now Andy's goal in life is to make Fuko fall in love with her, and then make love to her, all so that he can die. Doesn't seem like the best outcome for Fuko. Finally getting the love of your life and then they die? But maybe there's another option. Another path our heroes can walk together. But going into that would be a spoiler. The series is totally shonen, the characters are adorable, and every chapter is a delight to read. The fight scenes are interesting and entertaining, but the real reason to read this series is the tragic romance between our two leads. Andy, like most shonen protagonists, is a lovable dork. Fuko is also delightful and is slowly being charmed by Andy. She does see some of his good points in the first chapter. She was very grateful that he cut her hair. And slowly, over time, she comes to trust Andy. Maybe one day that trust will build into love, but we'll have to wait and see. One more thing. For those of you who are anime-only watchers, the anime should air sometime next year. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, there's a link to her Fiverr page below. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Jiraiya, Waffles, Muffins, Casey, Danny, Nick, Marcus, Black Dragon, and Phoenix Device. You guys are awesome. I post anime or manga videos every Monday, or you can click here to watch additional videos. Also, I moved all of my Commander content over to a new channel, Commander by Dayton. Go check that out if you're interested. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Musings by Dayton.